What's going on, guys? I'm Matt Stryker, and welcome back to ReeYees Retro Toys. On today's episode, I am going to talk to you guys a little bit about one of my favorite franchises in advertising history, the California Raisins. I have extremely fond memories of the California Raisins from being a child in the 80s. Their Claymation advertisements and commercials that were all over the airwaves back then, and of course their animated cartoon in 1989 and their Claymation specials. They had two of them, and then they also had the Claymation Christmas celebration, which I watched endlessly as a child back in the late 80s during the holiday season. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to bring out my bin of California Raisins merchandise and the little figures and go through it with you guys. I have not had a chance to display my California Raisins collection yet. I did not have them set up in my old room at my old house, but I do have at least one shelf to display my California Raisins collection. And it's important to me because while I know it's not a toy line, it was huge in the 80s. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing some sort of California Raisin item on the shelf, on the pegs, whether it be a t-shirt or a hat or a beach towel. And I just have extreme fond memories of the California Raisins, and I'd like to share that with you, a little bit of the history of the California Raisins as well as I go through my things. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you the final display when I have it all set up and ready to go. So without further ado, let's dive in to the very cool history of the California Raisins as well as my California Raisins collection. I hope you guys dig it. Before we dive into the actual collection, the actual toys, I wanted to give you guys a brief history of the California Raisins. Now, they were a creation of the California Raisin Advisory Board in the mid-80s. From what I read, I guess they were sitting around a boardroom and the committee was trying to think of different ways and different commercials to get people to eat raisins and really boost the industry. And I guess one of them said, "We've tried everything but having singing and dancing raisins." And so they took that idea and actually ran with it. They contacted Will Vinton from Will Vinton Studios, who did amazing claymation stop motion work and different specials. And they partnered with him and created the very first California Raisins commercial, which featured construction workers on a steel beam up in the air, opening their lunch. And then inside he sees this sandwich turn into a stage, and the California Raisins start singing and dancing with the iconic Marvin Gaye tune, "I Heard It Through the Grapevine."
California Raisins from the California Vineyards. Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine? Sounds better than what I got.
And that's all it took. The California Raisins were off and running. Several more commercials were made, some featuring iconic musicians such as Ray Charles and Michael Jackson during his bad time phase. They were everywhere. California Raisins were absolutely everywhere. And I still have extreme fond memories of the Claymation Christmas celebration that originally aired in 1987. And it featured two dinosaurs as the hosts, Herb and Rex, when they hosted different segments with different Christmas melodies and hymns. And one of the featured performances were the California Raisins singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It was the final performance in the half-hour special.
Climb aboard. Next reindeer's due any minute. It's those sensational California Raisins in the Emmy-winning Claymation Christmas celebration. Next.
And that version was actually recorded by the Temptations. They were the original musicians that recorded that version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but then the California Raisins performed it as well. And then they also had 2 California Raisins claymation specials. Meet the Raisins, which of course is a take on Meet the Beatles, where they talk about their rise to fame and how they became a group and their search for a bass singer, which eventually became Stretch. And it focused on 4 key California Raisins. AC was the singer, and Bebop was the drummer. Red, which was their cousin, according to the history of the Raisins here, AC and Bebop were brothers, and then Red was their cousin from Modesto, who played guitar and piano, and then they recruited Stretch, which was the taller Raisin, and he sang bass and also played bass. So the animated specials focused on those 4 key characters. Like I said, they had Meet the Raisins in 1988, and then the sequel came out in 1990. The California Raisins sold out. And in between that, they actually had a regular cell animated show, actually produced by Fred Wolfe Films, who obviously, I know you guys know it, they produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well as Toxic Crusaders. This premiered in 1989, September of '89, during the fall schedule for Saturday morning cartoons. But it only lasted 1 season, lasted through December, and it only had 13 episodes. And not too long ago, they actually released the California Raisins collection on DVD. It has both California Raisins claymation specials on it, as well as all 13 episodes of the California Raisins show, which was the cartoon. It also has 4 of those claymation commercials that were around so frequently back when we were kids. And they also released the DVD of the Claymation Christmas special. I highly suggest checking this out if you haven't already. I imagine many of you had seen it, but maybe forgot about it, because the Claymation Christmas celebration only aired twice. It aired in 1987 and then 1988. I still have my 1988 recording of it on VHS, featuring all the old commercials, and it was often paired with a Garfield Christmas, which is another iconic 80s Christmas special that all of us grew up with. So hopefully you got through that history, and you know, I think you guys know that the California Raisins were a promotional phenomena, and they focused on Motown and soul songs, which I've always loved. I grew up with parents that listened to 60s music or oldies music constantly, so I was, even as a kid in the 80s, I was already familiar with all of those brilliant Motown artists and songs that the California Raisins actually sang and performed. And speaking of performing, they even made California Raisin records and tapes, and they were available as well. And again, it was a bunch of studio musicians covering those classic soul and Motown songs. And here we have the various LPs and cassettes that were released back in the day. They had 3 regular albums: Sing the Hit Songs, Meet the Raisins, which is the soundtrack to the Claymation special, the first one. And then they did Sweet, Delicious, and Marvelous. Then they also had a Christmas with the California Raisins, featuring all sorts of Christmas classics there. And then they did the soundtrack to the Claymation Christmas celebration, which featured the California Raisins, as well as all of the other comedic bits that were featured on that special. One of my favorites right there. You want people to kind of look at you funny during a Christmas party? Throw this one on, see if anybody remembers it. And then of course I got the wax here of Sweet, Delicious, and Marvelous, and Sing the Hit Songs. And nothing like that beautiful artwork that really pops on vinyl records. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into my bin of California Raisins goodies, and let's see what I have, because it's been a long time since I've actually seen these California Raisin items, and I'm kind of looking forward to going through the bin again. So this video is a little different than what I usually do. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it, or do you think I should maybe just stick to toy hunts? So we'll see. We'll see what you guys say in the comments. Let's look at my California Raisin stuff. All right, guys, here is my bin of California Raisins goodies that's been in my basement for quite some time. I'm going to go ahead and open this and hopefully find a way to properly display this stuff. Oh wow, so many memories. Look at all this stuff. Now of course, you guys know that most of the California Raisin stuff you find at flea markets or yard sales or toy shows will be these PVC style figures. And you will definitely notice on the bottom, I don't know if it's actually going to focus or not. Actually see it. But you will typically see Cal Rab and a copyright date on these figures. I think you can kind of see that there. Cal Rab is short for the California Raisin Advisory Board that I mentioned in my intro. And they were the ones responsible for creating these alongside Will Vinton. And I guarantee you, if you go to a flea market at any given time, you will find some of these these PVC California Raisins figures. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. And you will find them in dollar bins at toy shows or whatever it may be. So here's a bigger version of the California Raisins here. It's a wind-up model, wind-up toy there. And of course, all sorts of PVCs. They have the female raisins. In the cartoon, they featured the 4 key singing California Raisins, but they also had the female raisins that had their own vocal group, much like the Supremes, Diana Ross and the Supremes, and they were called the Sweet Rollers. So again, a very cool play on the name there. This is one of the iconic California Raisins with the sunglasses, and the singing one, of course. One of these dudes. I have a bag filled. Sorry, I put this stuff out here. They're in different bags. There's that one. This one has a boom box. Here's a cool one I like. This is kind of like the Jimi Hendrix style California Raisin. And he was featured in, I believe, the Ray Charles commercial. The one with Ray Charles. So obviously, and even paying attention to detail, he's playing guitar left-handed, just like Jimi Hendrix. Here's a Sly dude here, right here. And the Surfer dude. And there's another one of those female raisins kicking back with her portable cassette player on the beach. There's the drummer. He's kind of a harder one to find. You don't find him too often, the drummer there. Here's some more key raisins. These ones you find a lot, I think, which is the saxophone player, the orange sunglasses, this dude, and the singer. He was actually a key singing raisin in the commercials, this particular shape and face. Of course, I have lots of doubles, because again, you can just kind of find them anywhere you go. Here's a stand-up bass one, cool one there. Here's a graduation topper. Heard it through the grapevine, you graduated. Congratulations. So some kid probably had this on some sort of cake when he graduated high school, I'm assuming. I don't know, maybe preschool. I don't know. Here's another one of the wind-up raisins, the singing one. Getting into more different merchandise here. California Raisin card game, mint on card. I don't know what the date is on it. 87, Cal Rab. Again, like I said, you'll see that. Cal Rab. Oh, okay, so these are cards that go along with the Hardee's collection. I think these are the ones that came out in the early 90s. Of course, there's no date on it. But yeah, there's a set of 4 raisins that you collected at Hardee's. Should have mentioned that before, that it was primarily a Hardee's promotion. And what do we got here? Look at all the books. That's cool. Raising the Roof. And Birthday Boo Boo. Again, guys, these things were everywhere. You couldn't escape it. Check this out. This is the official Del Monte Fruit Snacks California Raisins stage. Claymation designed by Will Vinton. There it is. And it came with these specific raisins, specifically shaped for the stage itself. And of course, just kind of set them on here. And there you go. There's your singing and dancing California Raisins on the stage. Pretty dang cool, if you ask me, a California Raisin lover like myself. I don't know what this is. Probably a bunch of pin backs. There we go. Look at all the pins. And I should tell you guys, I started collecting California Raisins probably, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago now at this point. And they were technically what got me back into collecting. I started thinking about the California Raisins show and the Claymation specials, and I started hunting these out. I collected the California Raisins before I actually even started into my Ninja Turtle collection. And check this out. This is a Halloween costume. Let me see if I can set this down on the floor so you can get a whole picture of it. There it is. All you need is a long sleeve black t-shirt and some black pants, some kicking Nike shoes or whatever, and you can be a California Raisin for Halloween. And here's even more goodies. Look at this, sunglasses. The logo on them. That looks like the orange pair. Here are the yellow pairs. Both unpunched, by the way. Pretty neat. I have sealed plushies. Here's the girl. The sunglasses. And the singer. Here are opened ones as well. Man, I forgot I had all this stuff. Cannot believe how much California Raisin items I have. Nuts. Another sealed one. Here's a skateboarder. Neat one. Check this out. Sealed wind-up toys. The singer. And the sunglass man. And we have a wallet. How many of you guys had a California Raisin wallet back in the day? 1988 Cal Rab. I think I had a Mario one, a Mario wallet. It was my choice, my fashion choice. Check this out. California Raisins Fan Club 1987 watch. Official fan club watch set. You know, Sonic, they made a lot of those watches back in the day, the character watches. How cool is that? 100% sealed, right from the fan club. Oh, here's another now Sonic watch. More of the character one, the flip open ones that a lot of us had. Pretty sure I had a Ninja Turtle one of these. Here are some of the bigger bendies. Well, actually, I should say these are bendable. The smaller PVC ones aren't bendable. So these are pretty big. If you want to compare the size there, you can see the size difference. What else do we have in here? Oh, here's a sealed California Raisins Color Forms play set. Of course, we all had Color Forms play sets back in the day. This is sealed. And then we have, look at this, free California Raisins from Post Raisin Brand. So of course this would be sitting on top of the cereal box of Raisin Brand. Oh, here we go, here's the other side. That's neat artwork from Post Raisin Brand. Again, they were trying anything and everything to get people to start eating raisins again.
You see, these post-raisin brand raisins are incredible. You ever notice how big they are? Fantastic. Yep, lots of big, juicy raisins make a big difference in the whole cereal.
Post Raisin Brand. Yeah. With the California Raisins, because big raisins make a big difference.
Ever notice? You guys wouldn't notice anything unless it jumped up and bit you.
Here's the hula raisin. We've got keychains here. What else do we got? More of these. More raisins. Tons of them. Oh, we got a Christmas raisin here with a Santa hat. Oh, here's another Christmas one in the candy cane. They do make rarer PVC California raisins of some of the non-raisin characters like Rudy Vega and Banana White and even Lick Broccoli, which was kind of the California Raisins nemesis, a take on Mick Jagger, of course. Here's the other wind-up toy, mint on card. There is that, I believe, the later series Hardee's that actually came with those cards, still in the plastic. Some of them are actually right here, too. Got a bowler, a little girl, boombox, guitar player, skateboarder dude. Here's a shopper, sax player. And then I am not sure what is in here. Okay, so inside this envelope was the California Raisins animated sticker album from Diamond. I know you guys remember these. All of our favorite franchises had these back in the day. Quite a few stickers in here too, actually. Of course, you had to collect all the stickers to complete the book. Oh, that's the commercial, the original commercial with the construction workers I was telling you guys about. So many memories. Oh, here's the 3D glasses came with. Here's a scene from the Christmas special. Very cool. Like I said, guys, I haven't opened this in quite some time, so I forget what's in here. I imagine this bag is also filled with California Raisins, as I suspected. Very cool. Tons of them. And I can't wait to figure out how to display all of this stuff as well. I'm really looking forward to it. I also wanted to show you guys this incredible vintage beach towel that was my sister's, believe it or not. She actually had this in a box at her house and had completely forgotten about it. I actually remember her having this when we were kids. Little envious that she actually had this one. But this is such a beautiful design. Super bright blue, prominent raisin there singing, and then the backup dancers and singers there. Awesome condition for its age, and I'm glad this is still an intact childhood piece from way back when in Western Pennsylvania. So thrilled to have this still. All right, guys, and this is what I came up with for the display in this IKEA cabinet here. This very retro looking IKEA cabinet in the yellow. This was the shelf that I had available, as I mentioned before. There with my Centurions, as well as my random Ninja Turtle merchandise and food items and goodies. So I think it's pretty cool. Obviously it's a very purple looking shelf. All of the California Raisins. Got the stage there in the middle. Always try to arrange things somewhat methodically. Got my carded stuff there in the back. So anyway, I think it turned out pretty cool. And I'm happy to finally have a small California Raisins set up here in my toy room. So that's it, guys. That's my little spin on the California Raisins, a little brief history, as well as some of the incredible merchandising items that franchise produced in the late 80s. All of us remember them. All of us really adored them. If you were a kid, probably. If you were an adult, you might have got annoyed with them at some point in your life. Maybe seeing them one too many times or hearing, I heard it through the grapevine, one too many times. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me your comments, your honest feedback in the comments section of this specific video, just so I can get a feel whether or not you'd like to see more of these or not. Go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel at ReeYees Retro Toys for all of your toy hunting needs. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep on hunting.